Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is May 2nd, 2014. Today is Friday. It's been a really great week in trading. A lot of economic news that came out as things have been rotated in the financial markets this week, and we anticipate the volatility to continue. Going first into the economic calendar, the roundup today, we have at 10:55 South African time this morning. The German manufacturing PMI, that should affect the euro. Okay, the Germany being one of the largest, most strongest economies in Europe. We do expect to see if the number does come in short or comes in high. We should see some good volatility in the euro USD, maybe euro and other currencies as well. Later today at 3:30 South African time, we have a number coming out of the U.S. It's non-farm payrolls. It is one of the major numbers of the month. So if there's any sort of major change in it, we could see some change in the market, some redirection. Looking at the euro, okay, we'll start with the euro right here. We had this big rally after Chairman Yellen, who's the FOMC chairman. She's the Fed chairman in the United States. The euro got much stronger. The market is a little bit suspicious about her very aggressive stance on the economy, and as a result, we see the euro got much stronger. We're at the top of the range, and again, we're closing in on major threshold here. This is major resistance at 38 or just shy of 39. Okay, 1.39. And then, of course, we hit 139.5 about on these levels up here. So we are at the top of the range. Depending on how the euro comes out with the expected number, we should see either a retracement or a breakout. Okay, but there should be some tremendous trading opportunities. If you don't get the first trade, maybe you could fade the trade. But again, like I said, there should be ample opportunities to make some good trades this morning. Again, looking at a longer time frame on the Euro USD, like I said, we are at the top of the range on very choppy trading. So if we do break above this 139.5, maybe we could retest this 140, which is a major number, and see where we take from there. We are consolidating. The moves are getting a little bit more redirected on the downside every time they take them up, which is higher low, lower high a little bit. I'm making a little bit of a wedge formation here, but nothing really that stands out to say, hey, this is a clear buy, this is a clear sell. Because we are in this threshold, you know, it's very hard to ascertain exactly if it's going to break out or retrace. But again, like I said, if you are in the position or you're anticipating one way or another, just make sure to use a stop loss. Moving right along into the GBP Japanese yen. This thing's been a rock star. I've been mentioning it. We're on its dead highs if we look at a weekly chart. Okay, just looking at the longer time frame right here. We rallied from the beginning of the year from about these levels over here, which is a major move from last year to this year. I mean, it went from 137 to 173, which is really huge. As you can see, we're somewhat forming this breakout move. I'm not convinced that we will break it on the downside. Every time we seem to be going down, they take it up higher. So these are really great location to buy the breakout. You know, anytime it retraces, to really jump in it a little bit. If we look at a shorter time frame, we'll see that we've been really rallying since the beginning of the week. And like I said, we're at the top of the move. So you know, looking from last month to this month, we've challenged this position at 172 or 173 really multiple times. It's the third time we're challenging it. Let's see if we can make a momentum on the upside, seeing how we're making higher lows when we're consolidating. You see, it's just to show you briefly. Okay, let's just right here we consolidated. We made a higher low. We're now making another higher low. Okay, after this consolidation, and now we're in anticipation to break out. So if we could break this 173.20, we could even see it go up to maybe 174, and that would be a really major number. At 174, you know, it has a lot of place to go on the upside. So just make sure to keep this on your radar. It's still a great trade. Still a lot of opportunities on it, like we showed you on the longer time frame, and a lot of opportunities to buy it on the upside. Moving right along into the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, again, every time they take it down, they just pump it right back up. So we saw this sell-off in the Dow Jones after Yellen's speech, and now we've consolidated. We found this new number of 16,525, and we bounced right off of it. Again, we're still at this threshold of about 16,600, excuse me, and if we are able to see some continued purchasing, continued buying, maybe today will be the day that we actually follow through and we'll go into the weekend with a bang. All right, so there are multiple bank holidays next week. Obviously, with the South African elections next week, it's going to be somewhat of a choppy week probably next week, essentially in the domestic market. The FTSE also, this is the London Exchange, also really flirting again with its higher range. If we look at a weekly chart, really, again, we saw, it seems very similar to the Dow Jones because it's really made these multiple highs at 1650-ish, and now we're right back at those levels. We're just 16,808 right now, and you know the high is 16,850. So you know these are really challenging the upper range, and you know law of motion states that if something is continually going in one direction, unless it proves otherwise, it will continue going in that direction. The gold has been really spotty, just you know bouncing about $1 yesterday after being tumulting about almost initially $10 and then another about $11 in the couple of days that it's been trading the past few days, really breaking under 1,300. So this week has really been a monumental week for the gold because it really got beaten up this week. If we look at a 1-hour chart, let's just open it up a little bit. Okay, we hit a high of 1306, and then we just kept on breaking down. I bought it at about 1302, and then I closed it at 1301. It was the wrong move. Okay, I was anticipating that perhaps it would come to this level at 1300 and really bounce, and it didn't. So not to fret, not to worry, just close the position and move on to the next trade. Had I flipped it, okay, after it hit 1292, had I flipped it and gone short, let's say at 1298, which was a double top, as you can see here, okay, right here and right here, to see how much we could have made on the trade. That's a hefty gain of about $17 on the way down. So there was an ample opportunity to get into this. We said support becomes resistance. This was somewhat of a support, 1300, 1298, and then we just hovered about 1300 for just a little bit, and then we just broke apart. So it was a good trade on the gold this week. Again, it has been breaking down. On the longer time frame, if we look at it again, we'll notice that we're hovering near support. Let me just erase that for you. And let's just open it up a little bit. Okay, we are hovering at somewhat of a support level. Okay, these have been multiple levels of 1279. Okay, and we're just about $4 off of that support, which is right here. So if we break down below 1279, we could expect it to go down to at least 1260, test that support, and then see it on if it's going to consolidate or follow through. But definitely as we saw it go from 1380, now it's made a lower high, and then a lower high, we'll see that the ratio has gotten smaller. So I don't imagine that we'll necessarily see a further move down. We may just consolidate in this 1310 to 1280 zone for a while until there's some impetus to take it up higher. Remember, gold is a place where investors look to in order to protect themselves from the equities market decline. So as the equity markets have gone up so high this past year, people are taking their money out of gold and investing it in stocks and indices. So the rotation works almost neatly, and we should expect to see continued rotation like that. So I just want to wish you guys a good weekend. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Have a great trading day.